By now, the shelter staff had become used to dealing with animals who'd been treated cruelly. But even so, when a couple walked in with their dog in a waste bag, they couldn't believe their eyes. And when they realized why the dog had been treated like she was trash, their hearts broke for her. The Frosted Faces Foundation, or FFF, eventually came to the dog's rescue, however, and in April 2017, the organization uploaded a photo to its Facebook page identifying the unfortunate canine. The snap showed a senior black Welsh corgi with an innocent face wrapped in a plastic trash bag. Her name was Blackie, and tragically she'd been given up. But her former owners seemed to have thought more of their car's upholstery than they had for their suffering dog. Indeed, that became clear when the reason for putting Blackie in a garbage bag came to light, and the true callousness of Blackie's supposed protectors was revealed. Specifically, Blackie was delivered to the shelter like a piece of trash because of a bleeding cancer on her tail. And the founder of FFF, Kelly Smizik, described the dog's situation on her company's Facebook page, writing, "Blackie's owners engaged in a whole new level of selfishness." But why did they wrap the poor dog up? Well, according to Smizik, it had been to ensure that Blackie's ulcerated, untreated tumor on her tail did not bleed all over the seat of their car. She added, they put her in a garbage bag, in a box. Then Blackie's owners had abandoned her at California's Carson Animal Care Center. And apparently they didn't stick around long after that either. That's even despite the fact that the center had offered to help the couple with financial support so they could keep their fur baby. As Smizik would report, though, the pair adamantly refused the assistance and then left. So at first it looked like Blackie would be staying in the shelter. Not an ideal situation for a 10-year-old dog. Fortunately, though, her terrible circumstances had already brought her to the attention of the FFF. And as the organization was determined to rescue her, its owners contacted the shelter as soon as they could. "We tried to rescue her immediately," Smizik wrote on Facebook. "However, veterinarians were off for the weekend, and she could not leave without an entrance and exit exam. So we patiently waited to rescue Blackie today." And with FFF, Blackie was certainly in good hands. It's worth noting, though, that unfortunately older animals don't get adopted as often as younger ones do. FFF, however, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to rescuing senior animals and making sure they find loving homes. And without it, many older shelter residents, like Blackie, would likely have eventually been euthanized in favor of younger occupants. After Blackie was saved, though, she was medically assessed by High Valley Veterinary Hospital's Dr. Beth Gordon. And it turned out that not only was the elder dog's large tail tumor bleeding heavily, but it was also infected. In April 2017, Gordon would tell Today that Blackie must have found it very painful. Furthermore, that wasn't the only sign of neglect seen on the senior dog's body. And although there were no signs of direct abuse, Gordon concluded that her treatment at the hands of her former owners would therefore have been less than satisfactory. "Someone didn't take very good care of her at all," she explained to Today. Indeed, while some of her ailments may have been a result of her age, others could definitely have been avoided. For example, her previous owners hadn't taken care of Blackie's teeth. She was also suffering from a heart murmur and had developed problems with her eyes. Blackie's right eyelid looks like it has an old injury, FFF explained on its Facebook page in April 2017. Both eyelids are missing fur and look a little deformed from genetics or irritation, we're not sure. It added, she was prescribed drops to moisten her eyes. Then Blackie's new guardians gave her the treatment she's always deserved but perhaps never got. She got brushed, bathed, her nails trimmed, and given a hearty meal, the organization reported. "We laced her in a brand new spring collar and told her we loved her." And despite all she'd been through and the pain she was in, all Blackie wanted was love. However, the tumor on her tail wasn't just hurting her, it was also threatening her life. If it wasn't operated on soon, moreover, the outcome of the inaction would be fatal. Indeed, FFF would write on Facebook, "The mass on Blackie's tail is terribly ulcerated and painful. So painful it's hard to get a good look at it. Even with a weaker heart, a mass in this shape needs to be removed, or infection will take her life before heart disease." Then on April 21, 2017, FFF released a social media update on Blackie. She'd been approved for surgery. Today, Blackie had surgery at San Diego Bay Animal Hospital to have her tail amputated, it wrote. This was the most effective way to remove her huge, infected, ulcerated mass. And fortunately, the operation was a success. What's more, after she'd recovered from surgery, she could finally be installed in her forever home. and after living 10 years of a potentially loveless life, she certainly deserved a happy ending. And that's where the good news begins for Blackie. On April 29, 2017, shortly after her recovery, she was taken to her new foster family. And while FFF will continue to treat Blackie for any medical issues, the humans now in charge of her day-to-day care will give her something else that she needs just as much: love and attention. The humans in question are John and Carolyn Hedges, and Blackie, who's now called Betty, couldn't look any happier in their charge. We're so proud to place Betty with such a caring family that has stellar references, FFF reported. She fits right in perfectly, and her family said they love her already. And given that adorable face, it's easy to see why they've fallen for her so quickly. I hope you liked this video. If so, please hit the subscribe button and click on the bell icon to make sure you never miss a video from our channel.